as you get closer to identifying and acting on the sole purpose of you being here in this time, on this planet, in this very moment. Things get both clear and the chasm opens exponentially and frighteningly. You cannot hide behind, everything becomes very clear, right? There is no, the fog is whisked away. So, when we hide in confusion and we hide in just not knowing what to do, that's just another story. And when that fog is whisked away, you stare at what you know is true, especially if you can feel it in alignment with your body. And sometimes it's not such a comfortable place to be. I would say, oftentimes, almost every time, it's not a comfortable place to be. Because what we do as humans that are governed by our egos, they are programmed to keep us safe, to keep ourselves in safety, to keep ourselves from taking unnecessary risks. But I guess the key is, what does your ego consider unnecessary? What is your ego allowing you to succumb to that it's keeping you inactive or confused or not taking the next step to bring forth your gifts in this life now in an active way? That just may be shifting your attention to focus on them so they get distilled down to how you can actually bring them into this world. You're not going to get a lightning bolt. I mean, I don't get a lightning bolt. I get stops and starts. I get one clear vision and then the fog descends again. And then it's whisked away as I kind of wade through the stories that I've created to create the fog. And then I get one burst of clarity again, gets me a giant step forward. And then I take lots of little steps back. So it is not a straight linear path. And I would suggest that if it is a straight linear path, you may be making the decisions and not receiving the guidance, because I really do believe that on our personal journeys, there are necessary byways that we take to get back to a place because we need to learn that lesson and come back in a more focused, more direct place. I knew that I had something to share, and that I always have been, inside me is this compulsion to lay out what other people might be ashamed of so they understand that they're not alone, that someone else goes through that someone else experiences that. And so they have now a place of shared space to put their things. But I didn't know who my audience would be. I didn't know what the voice would have to say through me. I didn't know where I was going. And the gift of this channel has been that I have made some videos that really strike totally true to the core of me, and made some that I was like, huh, is that really what I meant to say? And so by kind of saying what I thought was true at the time, and looking back and finding that even in this space where I've promised to be raw and real, there's a little bit of distillation. I don't bring, all of my ragged self, although I really do endeavor to bring you the most human parts of me. I mean, you've definitely seen me weeping. I definitely am not polished every day. But that's all in an effort to gain clarity, to bring my gifts and purpose here to this world in this moment. I know it's necessary, and not just mine. My example is always to exhort you to look within at the song that you're not singing, at the gift that you're either accepting as a given, or not bringing forth. Because that's where the distraction of confusion or self doubt, I'm not discounting the feelings that come with that. Your feelings are valid. But if you're letting those stories dictate your behavior, then your ego is keeping you safe. Safe to the point of inaction, safe to the point of denying your gifts. You know, as men and women, we are taught to downplay our gifts. We're taught to say, oh, shucks, really? You know, and not like own them forthrightly. And bringing your gifts to the surface and loving them and honoring them and offering them, it's not just a gift to the person on which you bestow them. That is a gift to yourself and to God, because you are enacting why you were put here in this time and place, on this planet, in this body, born to those parents, born to this course of action. So today, my task for you is not a small one. Any place in your life where you feel the fog or smoke of confusion, I want you to see if you can penetrate it with a laser beam of light, of trust in yourself. That's what that laser beam of light is made of. So if you're afraid that you're wrong, you're afraid that you're going in the wrong direction, I want you to point the laser beam that you trust yourself. And listen, trust is a building process. I don't trust myself fully every day. But when I get that burst and that determination to make sure that I am guiding from the center of my heart, not my brain, the center of my heart and soul, in connection with God, and I point that laser at that doubt or that fog or that uncertainty or that confusion, I get a little dose of something that either is a sign or a guidepost, a conversation, a phone call. It all happens as it's supposed to happen. As you have decided long before you were here right now. So again, charge up that laser beam and point it in the direction of the fog. And I ask you what comes out of it. I ask you to share it with me. I will see you tomorrow.